Good afternoon, ISTE 2013, and thank you for joining us for Screencasting 24/7. The next piece of the presentation will cover how we can use a tablet, like this iPad right here, to make tutorials for students and staff that are choosing to use a tablet as their primary computing device, and how we can use Screencast-O-Matic to make those screencasts so the learning can continue outside of the four walls of our classroom. Okay, so quickly let's just take a look at how to acquire AirServer, because when we say it's an app, it really is an application for the computer, not necessarily your iPad, as your iPad works with AirPlay and can do this basically on its own. So what we need to do is launch a browser, and rather than going to the App Store, we're simply going to do a Google search for AirServer. And what will come back is airserver.com, and in order to acquire this, which has a really neat feature, is a 7-day trial period, so you can play with the fully featured version ahead of time to see if you like it for free. So by doing a simple Google search and downloading onto your machine, you can install AirServer, which then allows your iPad to communicate wirelessly with your computer and screen for screencasting purposes. So once I have AirServer installed, it is now just a matter of getting my computer and my iPad to speak to one another. And again, the AirPlay client is native to the iPad, so a simple double tap of my home button and a swipe to the right will reveal my AirPlay icon, and then I simply choose the device that I'd like to share with. So now that my iPad is up on the screen here, and I have some sizing options over my window, which is why AirServer is so cool, let me show you those steps one more time. So again, iPad, home button, double tap, reveals my multitasking bar. I'm going to swipe all the way to the right where I'm going to see this AirPlay icon. And then AirPlay is going to notify me to the devices that it can see and basically mirror its image to. And it's simply a matter of turning your mirroring on or off at this point to get your iPad onto the screen. We would then size our Screencast-O-Matic bracket around our screen here, and off we go with a tutorial. I am now ready to begin my tutorials. So in this particular case, let's say I wanted to describe to staff members at my organization how to organize their iPad apps on their home screen. So here we go, we'll dive into instructional mode. So for those of you following it along at home, we have a couple of things we can do to organize our applications. So for example, if I wanted to folder some apps that I feel belong together, so in this particular case, let's say I have a couple of art apps that I would like to combine. So on the particular screen here you see 123D Sculpt and 3D PR Light. So what I'm going to do is hold my finger down over one of those apps until everybody starts to dance on the screen, and then I will simply stack one of these apps on top of the other app, and you'll see the folder get generated with a suggestion for photography. Now that does not do because these are two apps that I would use in an art class, so I'm going to go ahead and rename it art by clicking into this text field and typing art and tapping done. Then I will hit my home screen to collapse that folder, and then my home button again to get everyone to stop dancing. And here you can see that I have created a new art folder. So again, hold your finger down on any given app until they start to dance. Stack one of those apps on top of the other one, and proceed to name that folder whatever you like. An additional organizational piece you can do is replace or add to your dock. And what's cool about the dock at the bottom of your screen is you're allowed to have 6 apps down there. And what you'll notice about the dock is it stays stagnant even though the rest of the page is flying across. And that's cool because maybe I'm 7 or 8 pages deep in apps and I need to access my settings, or I need to access my photos. It's always there and I can get to it. So let's talk about how to increase the number of apps in your dock. So again, just like we spoke to creating folders a moment ago, I first need to select an app, hold it down until everyone starts to dance. At this case, I can remove apps from my dock, provided I'm on a page that has a place for that app to land. So I'm going to remove Safari here from the mix, and I'm going to replace it with ThingLink, just simply by moving it down into the dock. Okay, what's cool here as well, let's say I need access to my websites folder all the time. So technically I can only have 6 items in the dock, but many of those items could be folders containing many items themselves. So to say that you're limited to 6 items down in the dock is subjective. You can have 6 items, but again, we can have folders down there containing multiple items as well. So this is a quick tutorial on how maybe to organize your home screen and keep your apps in a place where you know how to access them.